Hello, and thank you for joining us. This is No Soundbites Allowed, and I am your host, Michael Voss, the political dragon here in our offices in the Bronx, New York, and it's approximately 11:45 on December 8th, about to be December 9th, and something happened just a few minutes ago. Approximately 11:30 p.m., there was a event that happened in the Bronx, approximately the 3450 block of Boston Road, over by Boston Road and Seymour. An event happened that took in 3 fire trucks, came to the scene of that block. Now, this was an event that surprised a lot of people. As you can see, we have it here on the screen. We came down as it was happening. Now, what you're seeing in front of you is some raw footage taken as 3 different fire trucks came to the scene to try and relieve a problem that just happened. It would appear that there was an immense amount of water pressure that took place in the pipes on that block, possibly affecting a larger region in the Bronx. We don't know at this time. 3 fire trucks arrived on the scene. A pressure was taken off of the water main by opening up the fire hydrants on that block, the Seymour block of next to Boston Road, and that seemed to release the pressure. Now, as you can see, this was a somewhat chaotic scene, and there are very few details at this moment. What I can tell you is that residents in the affected area stated that approximately 11:30 or so at night, they started to hear a rattling of all of their water pipes. This became very intense, so intense that multiple buildings, we spoke to residents at least 3 different houses, if not more, that had come out of their homes. They said that the entire buildings were shaking. They were afraid that the pipes were going to burst and possibly take down the buildings themselves. So this was rather intense. It was very audible. Everyone was able to hear this, and many residents left their homes because of being afraid of this pressure. The fire department didn't seem to speak to anyone when we were on the scene. They opened up the fire hydrant. They released the pressure. There was no audible sound at that point when we were on the scene at approximately 11:40, 11:45, seemed to take care of the problem. The fire department did not advise anyone in any of the public, but we do advise that for individuals in the 3400 block region of the Bronx, for those who are in the area of Boston Road and Seymour, that they should probably boil their water for some time, to run their water to make sure that it runs clear. And we would suggest for at least the next 24 hours or until we get more notification from the local government that they should boil their water before ingesting it, just to be sure. We are not clear on why there was such a buildup of water pressure. We don't know how large a region this affected. We can only tell you that we were able to see this on scene. It was very close to where we do record our show. And so we were outside. We were able to get to the scene. We know that at least 2 fire trucks were delayed in being able to get onto the scene due to a car blocking the road going from Boston Road onto Seymour. We do know that at least 1 fire truck was already on the scene in front of a church. They had gotten out and they had opened up the fire hydrants, released the pressure, and then closed the fire hydrant, got back into their trucks, and then left the scene. So it was approximately 15-20 minutes of fire department on scene. Again, 3 different trucks. This is, again, breaking news. It just happened. And the most important things we would want to reiterate are, one, if you are in the region, boil water for at least 24 hours unless the government is able to confirm that there is no contamination in the water lines. Two, run your water pipes, run water before you ingest anything to make sure that the water is running clear. We don't know if there is any contamination. We aren't saying there is or is not. We don't know. But we would do that as a safety measure. We advise you to share this with others in the Bronx, in the affected region, so that they can take that precaution as well. This is breaking news. There are no other news media that are aware of this at this time that I know of. I know this is a little bit rushed, but we wanted to make sure that we were able to inform as many people as possible, both throughout the night and into the morning, so that they are able to take precautions and to make sure that they will be safe, healthy, and safe. We would advise people to keep an eye out that if there was this much water pressure built up for some unknown reason, this could occur again. We would implore New York City's government, the local assembly members, as well as Mayor Eric Adams, to advise the public why this happened. What caused this buildup of pressure to suddenly affect this region? And what is being done to ensure that it will not happen again in the future? Was there any contamination of the water lines? Can they give an assurance to the public about that? And what can be done to prevent this problem in the future? These are the concerns, the key questions that must be answered by the local government and New York City's government. We will follow this, of course, in the next day or two. We will be following this, and to see any new developments that come with this. We apologize if this seems somewhat rushed. Again, it is breaking. It just happened. We just witnessed it as we were showing you from some of the footage. We're not showing you footage of some of the public just to preserve their privacy, but we are trying to make sure you are informed. Please pass this message on to anyone else in the region that may be affected. Please contact your elected officials here in the Bronx as well as in New York City to find out that there is no health issue and to find out about what is being done to prevent this from being a more serious problem in the future. Obviously, if there's enough water pressure to shake multiple buildings throughout an entire block, something's wrong. And we need a serious answer. If it happened once, it can happen again. If it happened in these blocks in the Bronx, it could happen anywhere else in New York City. We need to know why, and we need to know that this is getting resolved. And we need this answer as soon as possible. We do request that Mayor Eric Adams contacts us so that we can make the public aware, as well as any other elected officials in the Bronx or New York City that can provide answers to these questions, and we will be following this up in the near term. Thank you.